That's a great question. Yeah, you find that we all experience that in our life, and we all kind of do that. Like even like champion tennis players, they they might be playing at Wimbledon or the U.S. Open, the Australian Open, all these big tournaments, and they might be winning. You know, they might be winning the set. Let's say, let's say it's a five-setter, and they might be winning the fifth set. Let's say 5-2, they're up, and suddenly they start choking. Like when I say choking, the word choking in tennis, what it means is they start to kind of self-sabotage themselves. They start to lose belief that they can win this, and they start to tense up, and they start to play tennis like very, very rigid, and instead of just flowing and how they got to 5-2 up. So and then the other person starts to come closer to 5-4, 5-4. And then because they're a champion, that has happened many times before, they know what to do. So they start to compose themselves, and they try their best to just let go of winning. They actually try to let go of the thought of winning, that I can win this. And they go to the basics. They let go, they surrender the winning aspect, the future, and they just focusing on hitting the ball how they always know how to hit it, naturally, instinctively, and they start to just play again fearlessly, naturally, and then they win the next game. They win 6-4. That's it. They win the tournament. They become a champion, a Wimbledon champion, or US Open, or Australian champion, or French Open, whatever, like that. So you can see that's just a tennis example where even champions, they choke up when they're about to just about to attain greatness in the sport, or in the field. They choke up, and that's because that happens because they want it so much. They want it so much, and when you want something so much, you start to almost try to bring the future back to the here and now. Let's say for a job interview, you want the job so badly that when you go during the interview, you basically bringing the future, which is you think you're going to get the job, you got the job, you're working there. You're bringing that to the present, the future to the present, which is a job interview in that moment. So the future can never be the present. See, but when you're bringing the future to the present, which means you're not in the present, you're actually in the future, which means what happens there is you basically disempower yourself, because in the present, when you're in the present, you're here and now. That's when your radiance comes out. That's when your vibrancy comes out. That's when your honesty comes out. That's when the truth comes out of you. That's when your eyes spark. That's when there's warmth in your voice. That's when the energy of beauty and tranquil and trusting comes out of you. So during the job interview, when you're trying to bring the future as if you got the job back to the present, then totally your energy is completely different. It'll be nervousness, awkwardness, disconnection. The job interview, the interviewer will distrust you. You're not gonna get the job. So, what you call self-sabotaging or choking, like just in the brink of good things happen to your life, like that, you self-sabotage, and then you basically ruin it. That happens in not just job interviews and tennis, but in relationships particularly, when let's say a person single for a long time and they meet a beautiful, loving person, a lovely, beautiful, ideal person for their life. They meet the person, and at first, the person, like, they have beautiful connection at first, and it's all good, it's all going smooth, and then the person starts to think the future. They start to think, like, I want to live with this person the rest of my life. And then from that thinking, the next thought is, I don't want to lose the person. See? Listen to this. See, look at that. I want to live with the person the rest of my life. And then next, I can't lose the person. And then the next thing is they try to control the person because they don't know how to do it any other way. Instead of surrender and let it be, and you become yourself and radiant, that divine being in you, and that's actually very attractive, and that's actually very comfortable for others, very very peaceful for others. That's why they want to spend their life with you, and that's why they want to spend not just their life but really every moment with you, because it makes them feel good compared to moving to kind of controlling energy, and they get scared, they want to run away. You can see how you start to sabotage yourself like that by bringing the future, which is, I want to live with the person the rest of my life, and that future, see, the future, the rest of your life is the future. Who knows what's going to happen? See, so you try to bring that here, the future to here, and it leads to controlling the person, and therefore you destroy the relationship. And then in that sense you sabotage yourself. So in short, to actually you gotta stop that. You gotta learn how to stop that, and that doesn't happen automatically. To stop that, you basically gotta train your mind. I know a lot of people don't like the word training. Like when it comes to controlling your mind, controlling your mind, they don't like it. People don't like that. But why like that? There's soccer training, there's tennis training, there's Olympic training. Look, everyone loves that. But when it comes to controlling your mind, I don't want to train. Like, how can you be good at something if you don't want to train? Like this. So basically, in short, you've got to train yourself how to be in the present moment, to be in the here and now. And that's another topic altogether, that, I've got full of teachings and videos on YouTube and my website so you can explore and learn there. But basically, in short, you gotta learn how to be present when that feeling to control the other person in your new relationship. So that means you bring the future to the present. That means you live in the future, not the present. Immediately, when you start training yourself, what you do is you immediately let go of that future. You let go of that future. See, you do it consciously. It doesn't happen automatically. You train yourself and you do it consciously. You let go. In other words, you just stay in the present moment. You stay with that person. You're there with the person. You're not thinking all funny things, the future. You're having a cup of tea or having some nuggets, some salads, or whatever. Or whatever, or some milkshake with the person, or playing tennis with the person, whatever, but you're just there. And the future, whatever happens. If the person leaves you, you're totally okay, because you have no control over that, But in your divine being, you're not controlling, but you know that there's something in you when you live in the present moment. There's something in you that it makes you feel your magnificence. You feel your magnificence. Something happens to you. You just start to feel your magnificence. So it sounds weird to say, but you become less needy. You don't need someone else to complete you. So you just enjoy your magnificence. When the person leaves, you're happy for them to leave, like that. But the funny thing is, because of that energy, the beautiful energy, that magnificence in your being, the person tends not to leave, And if they do leave, they go meet another person, and then they experience that they'll come back most likely. I'm not guaranteeing you anything like that, but they know what's best, what's the most beauty, the torment that they go to the other person, and they start thinking of you. Oh, I had it good. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. I'm only joking there, but that's why people sabotage themselves, and that's why you've got to learn how to live in the present moment.